Yo, you there? Hyper? Oh, that's Waves. Hold on, Hyper wanted to leave. I'm in your party? You there, Waves? Are you back, Hyper? You wanna join? Hold on, I'm gonna wait for you to join. My friend is with me too. I know that must be you, cause my screen went dead for a second. Yo, Waves, my phone went dead, bro. I didn't even notice it. I'm waiting for it to charge. Just give me a second. Let's wait for him to jump in if he's jumping in. I'll give him like 3 minutes. I know you want to jump right into the antics. Alright, I guess that's probably my cousin. It's probably not him, so we'll just jump right into it. Yeah, I owe my cousin something right now, but he wouldn't even believe that I don't have it. Should be hot out here. Yeah, I wanted to talk to Waves on the phone real quick. Yeah, so alright. So we were just having a conversation with one of my dudes named Hyper, and he was saying,
yeah, y'all listen.
Hi, Bear. How's your bear, baby?
Yeah.
We're hot. I'm gonna fucking hot, Bear. Hot. Yeah, hot.
Horny as a mother.
Here they come. Attack!
alright, so yeah. I know you probably listening Waves because you probably don't have the mic, but yeah, we was having this conversation with the dude on my screen.
Command is ours. Maintain pressure.
He was like, yeah, that's what make America great. Everybody got their own opinion. Yeah, I was waiting for you in the lobby, bro.
Soldat, you have lost the lead.
I was definitely waiting. Oh man, I don't know if you want to keep waiting, but you can jump in next game. I thought it was my cousin in the stream, so that's why I started. But yeah, back to what I was saying though. I was saying like, yeah, even my father be saying it's true. That's what makes the country great, because you know what I mean. It's 300. Well, it's like 300 million plus people in here. So that's if you. Oh man, I'm getting my ass stuffed. That's if you include kids and everything. And everybody's gonna have their own opinion, but it comes to the point, like even me and my friends talk about it sometimes. I feel like some people just have an opposite opinion on what they feel might be right, just because they feel like what's right is it gotta be the opposite of everybody else. You ever know one of those people like they just always do the opposite shit because they just feel like they want to be different? And I don't got a problem with being the leader, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what I mean? you got people around you that been through experiences and stuff in life and is letting you know that like on the other side it's bad. Don't do that.
Reloading. I'm with you. We are losing
But
ground.
yeah, I agree.
Focus.
That is what makes the country great. Definitely agree, bro.
Friendly care package inbound.
And, you know what I mean? I'm in commentary, so I'm not gonna be the one to be like, I hate you. Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, I want to be an influencer. I can't influence you if you don't listen, if I hate you.
Reloading.
But at the end of the day, like I said, the shit still confuses me. I ain't gonna lie. We can get into it. You got a mic today? You got a mic? I think you was having problems with your mic back in the day. Oh man, who I just killed? I'm just mad I don't got no kills, bro. You can kill me back. I really don't care, bro. Not even that serious to me.
Allied UAV overhead.
Somebody coming behind me. But there's other things we could talk about right now too, because I'm kind of getting bored of that, because I feel so strongly about my position, bro, because it's just like so much awful shit has happened. I feel like in the last 4 years, when you got other people saying that it's draining and stuff, like, it's just confusing. It really is, bro. But anyway, like...
They have reached the halfway point.
What? Hold on. I'm gonna read that in a minute.
Enemy
Oh,
UAV
shit.
overhead.
Glad I ain't killed this dude just a while ago. I just switched my gun instead of shooting. I think I know over here was hot with enemies. What upset me is that the new
Enemy
voters
personal radar overhead.
that just want to vote so they feel like they different that adult does, but they don't. I guess that's why I didn't vote my first election though. Since you just said something about it. That's probably the reason. Like, I probably felt the same way. Like, I just didn't want to feel like I voted just because I'm at the age to vote. But that's still a stupid reason. I should have voted my first election because honestly, it's like, to be honest, it's like a lot of stuff don't get done from my side, which is the Democrats, as far as like minorities and stuff like that, because we're not coming out in record numbers. Supposedly this time around, we've came out in record numbers to vote against Trump. Yeah, that's the way I agree. I ain't voting my first election because I was actually doing like a taxi business when I was 18 in my first election, and I was just so busy with having fun, partying, smoking, doing whatever. It's just like I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't doing none of that, and it's just like, why bother? It's nothing that's gonna change. Blah blah blah. But to add on to what you're saying, it's just like some people, when they reach 18 like you, and like you said, you voted in your first election, some people also vote in their first election because that's just like the structure of their household. It's like you go to some people's houses, like voting is not an option. You gotta do it. And that's the way my community needs to do it too. Because it's like we laxy-daisy, like, oh, we don't vote, we don't do this, we don't do this, but then everybody else in their neighborhood, in their cities, in their counties, they go out and record numbers and vote. They pack the schools, they pack the courtrooms, they pack everything, and when a situation happens, that's when your child is getting suspended, your child is going to jail, didn't get a fair trial, because you know what I mean, the courtrooms don't look like them. They don't have their agenda, they don't have nothing that they can relate to. So, I mean, traveling, if you want to talk about traveling, bro, I've been to another country before. I've been to the Caribbean. But to be honest with you, bro, this is gonna be the first year. Is that real? All right, since you bringing it up like that, what don't you like about Biden? I mean, yeah, that's a good question. What don't you like about Biden? Elaborate.
Oh shit! Sorry, teammate.
We're falling behind.
Definitely, but traveling in itself is a good experience because this is going to be the first year that I really travel to other places. I have family members. Who left the party? Somebody was in the party? The only person I know is
Oh yeah, let's get this out, bro.
Abort mission. Regroup.
You better got
that's
me
why he
early,
probably
bro.
left.
What? I have one second. What the fuck?
Well, I'll just chill down here on the wall.
I'll take my seat there.
In different cultures and shit like that. Because I just feel like there's a lot of misinformation just on traveling itself. Because, you know what I mean? Like, I always say it like this. I'm going to be blunt. If you leave it up to the news is always going to tell you that this is the best country. And as far as military-wise, we might have the strongest technology in military, but unless you go to another country and experience another country, you don't know for sure. You're only going off of what you hear on the news. I mean, I've been to the Caribbean. The Caribbean is poorer than here, not strong military. And if you live there, what's your game name again? Ask for Chris. As far as like military stuff, it's poor like that, but and if you live there, it's hard to get a job. But if you have money and you live in like say Jamaica, where a lot of my family come from, you can live a decent life. It's very comfortable. So traveling is not a bad thing at all. Oh, boy. I'm gonna call my friend on it. Hold on, give me a second. Only one here, so I can wait. It's ask for Chris, basically. Call better. Send me a party chat invite, and we can join up from the party chat. This game is funny like that. I never really understand this game. All the people online is never in the. Cause I was just looking for you too. I don't really know your new name. You might have changed your name, but right now I only see 6 people, and I'm kind of sure I got more friends playing Modern Warfare, even though it's not the newest game in the world. So this thing always been kind of funny to me. I'm not really understanding it. Oh, I sent you an invite. Okay, I got you. I got a message. So your name is still IG Executions. This player started a party with you. Yo, what's up? Uh, no, I wasn't even with those guys. Those guys was just in the game chat. But to be honest, I didn't even know you can hear people just in the regular game chat.
Of Biden like asking little girls that don't even look 18, are you 18 years old? And then he'll pet their head and sniff their hair. Then their mom walks up. There's like this whole
Yeah,
like,
I seen it.
bag. Yeah, you seen that on TikTok and stuff. Yeah, dude. And then like then like remember at the debate that he said Trump brought up that he said super predators, and he said I never said that.
What? Alright, I'm gonna answer you. I'm gonna talk about it right now. I'm gonna send you a party invite though. I'm gonna talk about it right now. Good shit. I hear that. I'm trying to look for you right now on the motherfucking party shit. I'm gonna talk to you. It's interesting shit. Interesting shit. I'm trying to look for you right now in this shit. Were you online? You got you online? Like I know you're online, but is your thing? No, but I'm saying no, cause I'm looking for you. Oh no, you're already in the party chat. All right. How do you do that again? I'm trying to find out how to send you a party I mean a game. Yo, you can send me a game if I'll join your party game. I don't see if I see you in Mons. IG.
I know.
What's your name
yeah.
in let me see. What's your name in
oh,
Black?
with my okay, I'm giving it to you right now. Sorry.
Oh, I see you. I actually see you.
It's capital
you.
B.
No, I
no,
see
it's
you.
capital BA. Oh, what? You see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Oh, where the heck was I? Oh.
No, I seen you in the game thing. Alright,
okay.
so yeah, basically you're saying that he was saying racist shit back in the mall. I've heard about that,
Yeah.
but I ain't actually look at it. And you know what I mean? When I hear something like that, I'm not gonna debate that it's not true. These dudes is politicians. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this guy never said no racist shit before. And I'm not even gonna blame it on the time period. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say if you were saying racist shit, And right now, and I'm gonna make a point. Biden has not. He haven't done nothing in office yet. You feel me? He hasn't started a term yet. So I don't know what this guy is gonna do. I even have like side arguments with certain people that, you know what I mean? I know you might really don't like saying this, but I feel like he would have been a more progressive pick. But that's besides the point. The point is that, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, the point is that if you were saying racist shit back in the days and now you're for like certain things that needs to dramatically change in the country now. You feel me? Because like I said, I'm not going to say it's a time period like, yo, he was back in the 80s, 70s, and people was racist. Because people might use this excuse that was politics back in the days. It's whatever. That could be the case. But there's certain things that need to change down, bro, especially in big cities. Like,
but
this you could talk. I said enough.
So what? It's okay. So I was trying to say was that, like, okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay, I forgot that we're not in game because it cuts off there. So like, Trump's always like he's tried to make it good, even for the gay community. He's like, people are saying that he says he doesn't like gays, but that's them twisting his words. He said he may not agree with the gays and what they're doing, but he supports them, and he's not gay, but he supports their decision. And then, so that made like half the gay people love him and the other half not, which I don't get. Like there were some like gay people that were going to vote for Biden, then they switched to Trump, but the other half stick with Biden. And what the other part, what I was going to say was that I'm like, even if this happened, I would, if Trump doesn't go into office, this is like my theory and my opinion, what I would do. If I would hope that because you know Trump's daughter, right? She's super smart and intelligent, right? Like she knows this stuff. So I like, if I had to vote for one woman to be in office, it would probably be Trump's daughter. Because like, to be honest, I can't see any other woman that can handle stuff, and especially with her having her dad Trump behind her side helping her out because he's been in office. Like, that's two pros that could help this country out. And another thing, what I was going to say, what you touched up upon was that, fuck, I forgot. I forgot, what were you, it was something, I keep forgetting, but I have so much to say, because it's kind of irritating that, like, the news, I think it was something about the news, oh yeah, that, like, you said something about the news being fake. It matters. Did you know that like some news sites are more lying or true because it matters who they're voting for? Like some news places are told to be like all Democrat or all Republican. That's why like CNN was like one of the people that are Republican, and they were telling the truth that Biden was losing or winning, and they were literally saying those states were holding out because they knew Trump was winning, and then they wanted to keep which they wanted to wait to see if Biden would win, and then people were then in the Democrat side was that how do I explain this? That oh my bad. So that people that not like the general community they wouldn't even announce Biden's wins yet because they were afraid that Trump was winning, and then the Democratic news sites would be angry. So that's how I could, the best way to explain it. It was hard to explain, but that's literally
you got thoughts in your head that is you got concepts that's hard to get out. You want to show me a concept, paint a picture. Yeah. I understand what you want to do.
The funny thing is that it's technically a crime and illegal to hold ballots for a certain amount of hours, which they did and they didn't get in trouble for. And it's not cool that then they get away with it and there's no consequences, and then Trump has to be worried about them screwing up the ballots and doing anything to jeopardize the win or make it a completely unfair election. So that's why he wanted Republicans, especially because they know they would be honest about it. Even if Biden was winning, they could just go back and say, yeah, they haven't touched it, which the Democrats didn't want. no Republican people stepping 6 feet from the ballots. And it just shows that something down is going sketchy. And I'll be honest, I hope, this is just my opinion, and people have the right to judge or have their opinion, but I respect it, that Trump should fight this. Trump should try to stay in office, because what Biden's doing is just like what Clinton's did. They scam people. And people didn't even know back then that Republicans were made as an anti-slavery union, while the Democrats are the ones that supported the KKK and fundraised everything and done everything crooked. And they're the oldest government, and then Republicans are a little bit newer, and then people saying that Trump's dad was in the KKK and all this other bull crap, that he supports the KKK. No, it's not true. Republicans started off and still are an anti-slavery movement. That's their opinion. There shouldn't be nothing. Everyone should be equal. That's what it means. And Trump's done better, even for the prison community. He got more wrongfully accused people out of jail to have a new life and a fresh start and live their life again than any president's done. He literally only did like what, 3 or 4 people to get out of prison, and they were thankful because they have been wrongfully accused and their case has been dismissed now. And it's like he's trying to make everyone in the world of America happy, which that's kind of hard now because this generation is always sensitive, and even with things he says on Twitter, half of it I agree is true. He's speaking the truth, and people can't handle that. And it's like it's kind of like, in my way I put it as this, like a video game. If someone says something someone doesn't like, they start saying stuff back. It's the same way with the Democrats and Republicans. It just matters who finishes it, and who is the bigger man to stop it. And I feel like the Republicans did the better job to stop what the Democrats were doing. That's just my opinion. It could be completely different for someone else. But I feel like the Republicans have done a better job in office even when Obama was in office. That's just my opinion. Because people don't agree with this, but I feel that Obama was trying to he felt like he was like in the white community, he was like the whitest person. I wouldn't say that it's kind of racist, but it's true. He acted like a white person, which I don't know if that's why this is not to be racist. I don't know if that's why he felt like he got elected.
Talk your piece.
Yeah, and then I'll stop after this. But Obama's done more stuff that made harm to this country than people even know about, or understand, like with the thing with Cuba and everything else, the Crime Act. People were saying, well, that's good. Like, I was literally fighting with an 11-year-old because he thought he knew the whole thing, and he's like, I know more than you, I know all about my history. I am like a history buff, and he's like, no, and I'm like, then he said, I searched, he was saying how all good Obama's done. I'm like, you probably don't even watch the news. And it's like, it's bullcrap. And did you even know that, like, Obama, did you hear about Obama's book, bruh?
Yeah, the new one?
Yeah, the 72-hour one. Literally, it's all about how, and it's like him rubbing it in people's faces, kinda, about how he got into office, and how he did a good job he thought was right, which he, like, butchers what he said. Literally, he even made some stuff sound, like, really weird, like, and it just, like, it's a 72-hour book of boring, to be honest. Like, if you were in office, let me tell you what I would do even if I was in office. This is my Republican opinion. Because you know, like, the Democrats are trying to make school longer. Did you hear about that? Like,
no.
They're trying to, yeah, like, it was on the news at one point, that the vice president, that was the governor of LA, that is a woman, she feels like kids need more school, 3 extra hours, to be able to get a better education. It's like, is this a dictatorship now? Because it feels like she wants kids that don't even enjoy getting out at like 2:30 or whenever they get out. Because I always got out at 2:30, and to be honest, I was in a behavioral program at one point. That how could you expect kids to have 3 more hours of school and get out 5 o'clock if they have outdoor activities? They want family time. They need family time. Like, you can't keep them cooped up in a room. It's like, it's bullcrap. It's like the Democrats want a better country, but they're doing it in a completely wrong way. Where it's like they want smarter kids, but it's kind of like what Michelle Obama did. Like, she's the one that made the changes in school about you have to eat healthy and you have to eat organic food, and it was kind of like a dictatorship. She demanded and made it happen where we can only eat healthy food, when back then, the year before I was about to go to high school, they had pickup sticks. They had the local Mexican taco stand from they brought it to school, and they would have like California burritos. And when I started up school, I was expecting all of that. Then Michelle Obama, she made it go through where we can only eat organic food. So we had the horrible organic pizza, and that was a circle. We had no good drinks. We only had chocolate milk, that was old and crappy. It literally got outdated and stuff. And it's like she's trying to make us eat healthy because she thinks we're overweight. Like most of America's overweight, which it is. But would you rather want someone telling you should lose weight and inspiring you, or someone dictating that you have to lose weight, so we're going to only give you healthy food? Say, like, if you were in school, they say healthy mind helps the brain, but isn't it like food that kids actually like that inspires them to, like, I only wanted to go to school for the food, but the healthy food made me like, why the heck am I even here? There's nothing good to eat. Then I have to go back to work after and do math.
Can I ask you a question?
It's like what kids like. What? Yeah, it's a dictatorship.
Are you overweight?
Yeah, okay, so I used to be 200 pounds when I started high school. But let me tell you, I ate that food every day. It was still very crappy, and I ate it and ate it. Where at the point, I wasn't even losing weight, because guess what? The food wasn't even enough. I had to bring crap from home. Like, it's like you get a few carrot sticks in like a little foam bowl. How is that? And that's part of the snack you can pick out. It's bullcrap. You're paying for food that kids don't even like. And it upsets me that she's trying to dictate what we can eat. And I didn't lose weight. Actually, or she doesn't even know, it's organic food tastes like crap, and it's unhealthier. Because, well, it matters what you're eating. Because usually organic food, in my opinion, is way more like them extracting stuff and them adding new stuff in, which could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, organic just mean the way it was formed, really.
Yeah, well, it's like them trying to it's like experimenting on the kids, and I don't like that. It's like, how are kids supposed to enjoy school if they can't even enjoy the break time they have? And that's the only break they get. Like, literally, I wouldn't eat their lunches. I literally, because I was in the behavioral program, ate lunch that kids, that they had like a little store, and they had stuff that technically the principal wasn't allowed to accept because it was junk food. But she did it anyways because she even disagreed. It's like, how you say healthy kids have a healthy brain, but tell me, with kids that eat healthy, will they have, it's not about that, it's about them wanting to do it and them inspired, because they could have a healthy brain and be smart, but they wouldn't want to do it, because why would they if they don't like what they're eating, you know?
Let me just set the record straight first. Like, you can be fat and be very smart too, but I understand your logic.
Yeah, I know, like, why would someone want to eat something that they don't like, and if they're used to eating, like, let's say, like, In-N-Out, or something that they enjoy as an American, to eat what they want. That's, like, the first thing of freedom. You gain to choose what you want to be, what you want to eat, and it's like, how you want to express your opinion, but then someone comes in that's a Democrat and says, no, you can't, just imagine this, you can't eat that. We're going to give you all healthy food. That's pretty much what it was. And it's like, how is that fair? That's totally a communist act that, like, you know, us, the government, us Democrats, are going to make the kids eat healthy. That's pretty much what it is, because we never had unhealthy food. And that, if I was president, I would remove that law, try to, my hardest, because from a kid and experience during that, it pisses me off. It's not fair to the children that they have to eat what they don't like. And sometimes I even saw kids not eating and they would vomit themselves because they had to eat eventually and it was just crappy food.
So basically you're talking about your constitutional rights and freedom is your freedom.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time.
Yep.
It's that the Democrat Michelle Obama tried to take that away, and the food rights, like, you get to eat what you want, you can look the way you want, you know, like, we have plastic surgeons, you can be a transsexual, and that's your right, but it's not fair that Michelle Obama takes away the right of what kids can have to eat. And now another Democratic woman is trying to add more school time on top of the healthy food. It's just like the Democrats are trying to make the kids into walking zombies. That's how I see it as. Like, they're trying to make them where they only do what's they think is going to help America by making them work and work and work and not it's like,
honestly,
what's next?
the Constitution,
what's next? Like,
honestly,
okay, go ahead.
Honestly, the Constitution protects your freedom in America, but like, if you're gonna watch my streams, you're gonna understand that the biggest controversy I'm gonna always go around, and it's not really no clear answer to this, really. You know what I'm saying? The biggest controversy we have now, even amidst the coronavirus, I know you haven't touched on that yet, but even amidst the coronavirus, the biggest controversy we have right now is freedom really freedom if it affects other people? And it's a big controversy. You know what I mean? I hear people in the news saying that, well, the adults can make their own decision, blah, blah, blah. And that's true. That is a definition of freedom, because freedom means you can do what you want. But also, is it really freedom if you affect somebody else in a negative way? And you know what I mean?
That's the same with racism. Saying something bad will affect someone in have a bad day and get angry. It's that person's spreading that hatred, you know? To someone that doesn't even want it, and it would upset them. I totally understand that. But yeah, with the coronavirus, I agree what Trump was saying about, I forgot if it was him, but either way, they were trying to do something completely different. One was trying to keep kids in, and the other was trying to let them out. But it's like, how are you going to say that you want Biden? I'm pretty sure he's the one that said, I want kids out. Or no, in. Like, I'm going to have to search up. I completely forgot. But it's like, I agree on both sides that even I heard this too, that the kids are the supplier and they don't get the disease, like, because they're younger and their bodies are younger. Like, my mom's that, thank God she didn't go to that party. She was going to go to a party and one of the persons had COVID, but none of the parents got it, but the kids did, and then the kids spread it to the parents. So they're saying, like, it doesn't affect the kids as much to the adults, where the adults get it from their kids, which that means that their kids are hanging around friends and all this other stuff, which they aren't technically, they're supposed to stay inside, but it's not the kid's fault, it's the parents' fault. Because, one, they're the parent, and if they're doing the right thing and understanding, okay, this is serious, people are dying, they would not let the kids out. But what do? They let the kids out, for one, because they're like, go have fun, be a kid. But it's like, if you were really a caring parent, you wouldn't want your kids around other people. And it's the same with Trump not wearing the mask. He got COVID. and he got better from it, and he learned how serious it was at that point, and he started wearing a mask from then. And it's like, because he kept saying stuff, but he didn't do it himself until he realized it was important. And then he kept trying to convince people, it's a demand you wear a mask. And it's like, it's not fair that one is trying to let kids out and the other trying to do the other. Because either or, they're both right and they're both wrong. And that's the only thing I can agree with on both. Because, one, kids will be kids and parents will let them out. Two, the kids should stay indoors, so it just matters your opinion, to be honest. Like, if you are a parent that doesn't like your kids staying inside, well, then you can chance it. Or you're the parent that wants to help your kid not get sick.
When I was 18, I had a lot of theories about how school was being ran. And I know you're 18 now, so a lot of your reference is gonna...
I watch a lot of news, so that's partially that helps me.
To be honest, when I was your age and younger, well, a little bit younger than you, I used to watch a lot of Fox News. But that's before I felt like... That's before I felt like they became like really, really right wing. That's that's probably like in Bush era. I used to watch a lot of Fox News. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that now, news companies are like getting paid and stuff by the government to like make it go towards them or the other person, which that's what makes it a Democratic news company or a Republican. And it's like people say CNN is fake news, and technically they're the most honest news about what's going on. And now it's like Fox are Democratic, and they just and some of the other ones are, but the CNN I would say is the most realistic to this era, because they tell the truth and they mean to, and they pick both sides. They agree with both sides, they disagree with both sides, or they pick one or the other. Because I'm pretty sure they're the only company that was honest about Trump and how Biden's doing things, and like how, because they have a mixture of Democratic and Republican people that they're like the most realistic. And when I went to school and people kept saying CNN fake news, I would say it with them, but guess why? Because at that time I didn't know how realistic they were, and like how that's really happening. And even though I was watching the kid like version of CNN, they were literally saying the truth about the Democratic stuff and the Republican stuff. And everyone didn't like what they were hearing about Trump, so they would say fake news. But when it was about someone else, they would say that, okay, that sounds really realistic. And it's like what they say, parents, they go off of their parents. But guess what? My nana, my dad, or I don't know if my dad, but most of my family was my grandpa was even Democratic during a certain era, like during Vietnam, around that time. But then he literally switched to Republican because he realized that they spread more truth than the Democrats, and that's what made me, my grandpa, not my parents, my grandpa always taught me how corrupt the government can become with everything, and most of the corruption is through the Democrats.
Reloading.
I see it kind of like as like a video game. Like this is how I picture it, and this is how I see it as. Like I use a video game as an example most of the time because it's the easiest way to say it. Like back then, video games weren't like a big toxic community, Like back in PS3, early PS3 days, how it wasn't that toxic?
Yeah.
So that's how it was, and then a bunch of kids, like 5-year-olds, play these M games, and they hear what the adults are saying, and the late PS3 era, and they think it's okay, and usually they're saying it when their parents aren't home, or they just think they're badass. Like earlier today, I was getting cussed out by a 5-year-old, calling me the N-word and everything else. And it's like, dude, for one, I'm not even black. 2, you're 5 years old, I'm not going to take shit from you. And I kept saying, dude, I bet your parents are home and all this. And he says they ain't. And that's how I kind of picture it. If there was a stricter law on video games, and there was like a user agreement. If someone says something wrong, or there's a little kid playing and he reports the person, and he's like being toxic too, the other person doesn't get banned. It's the little kid, because it's for 17 and up. Like, that's how I agree. Like, there should be a new age restriction system in place, so because the little kids, I feel, are a bigger problem and toxicity in games as the less of the adults, because they played the game, they know when to get angry and when not. But kids just like talking shit, and that's how I see it, as the Democrats as the kids, the adults as the Republicans. And it's like, there's so many other ways I could explain it, but it's like if we got rid of most of those kids, I feel like the gaming community will be the same, but with less toxic kids, because most kids made it this way, talking crap and being toxic because they're kids. And if we got less kids and more adults in the game, it would start being not that much of a toxic lobby. And that's how I see it, as that if we had less Democrats and more Republicans, which I'm pretty sure is happening because half the Senate is going to be Republican or mostly Republican, and that means that when Biden asks for something, they're most likely going to say no, or not agree with the law, because one, he's a Democrat, but that doesn't give them a right to say no, because then he can take it a step further. Or when the Republicans say no, it means no, and because what he's trying to do, just like Michelle Obama did, they had a full Democratic government mostly, and it's like the Republicans were outvoted on the law for, what is it, the food law, everything, and it's like, I'm kind of glad that not that I want Biden in office, but that Biden's in office, and there's going to be a Republican Senate, mostly made up. And that means that the Republicans are going to have the control over the government and the money and everything. But the president can ask for changes, which they have to go through Congress and everything. That's going to be mostly Republican. And then it's going to get to that point where you start just making laws to make laws. Because it's just like the Crime Act with the super prejudice and all that other stuff. He's going to find a way just to make a law that benefits him and his agenda. And the Republicans have done and this is what I said before, the Republicans had less crooked stuff go on, and it was mostly the Democrats. But the funny thing is that people assume the stuff that they don't even know until someone explains it to them. Just like how people didn't know that when he says he's like Abraham Lincoln, Trump did. He said, well, Abraham Lincoln was racist. Technically, he wasn't. He was the one that started the anti-slavery movement, and it's not fair that people are spray painting the White House and doing all this other stuff when they don't even know who they're spray painting. Literally, I saw a video that made me disgusted of some people taking down a anti-slavery person that was a chief in the military, and he became a Republican, and they took him down, tore him down, threw him in the lake, and he was one of the people that tried to make anti-slavery happen. Where there's
wasn't that a Confederate soldier?
Where there's no slavery. And then guess what they put up, and then they had to take it down, or the government did, because they said that's not right. They put up a BLM, Antifa, person raising Black Lives Matter. And it's like, you put up that, but the one we had up originally was someone that was fighting against slavery. And
but I think I heard about that. Wasn't that a guy that was in the Confederate Army though, bro?
Yeah, but he was against slavery. He literally... Wait, maybe we're thinking about a different one, but literally, even people in the Confederate Army, there were some that disagreed with their rights, and they fought against it, but half of them got killed or were a traitor to their cause. But it's
Alright,
like
wait till next game, bro.
it's kind of like this is how I think of that part. Hitler trying to find Jews, and then some Germans would hide the some Germans would hide the Jews, and they would be a traitor to their cause, and they would be executed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah. So it's kind of the same way. People don't know who they're burning and taking down the statues of. They just want to do it to put it against their agenda, just like the Democrats, their agenda. And I'm not saying what Black Lives Matters are doing wrong, but their way of doing things is completely against what everyone has fought for. They're just, in my opinion, I'm not trying to say this to be mean or whatever, but what they're doing is just proving the point of the racist people that they are acting like animals. They are being violent and everything else, and doing everything in these riots and everything, and they're proving all the people that the Republicans are trying to stop right. They're proving them right, and it's like, if they wanted to change, they would do it the appropriate way, by maybe starting a petition and working their way up, just like how every other human being would do it. But they take it a step, but they are taking it a step too far this time. And they're getting mad at police and doing all this other stuff.
Bro,
even though the police are just trying to
protect I think we should change the subject,
their county, and protect the civilians. I don't need to touch their buildings. Protect their buildings that are now getting burned and everything else. And they're doing their job.
I heard you.
Just like
Alright, yo, you want to join me back, please? I'm gonna join my friend. You can join back.
Okay, yeah. I don't agree with what anything's.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, bro, I would say I gotta disagree, bro, with a lot of things you're saying. But it's your opinion.
I accept it.
It's your piece at the end of the day. But you know what I mean, like. I don't even know how to end it off because you said a lot of stuff, so I don't know what I want to.
Threats towards people. It's like it's literally turning into a communist country because how many bad things are going on. It's literally turning into a crossfire.
Honestly,
you know?
I can be controversial with you and end it on a note with the riots thing. I just feel like my biggest problems with Trump is like, all right, because I do want to kind of mention on some topics you covered with Trump and everything, but you went through so much stuff that I kind of forgot a lot of points.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, but I respect that a lot of reference that you have is based on the school system, because again, like, you're 18 and I understand that. And as far as people not getting like a lot of information in on what people did in the past, me and my friends argue all the time, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Biden don't have, they say, a perfect record. There's a lot of people in our community that know this, but
no one's
like
perfect.
I wouldn't even go that far. But this is politics. I'm just going on with now. I know technically no one is perfect, but this issue with the police thing is something that's facing people right now. And the thing about it though, bro, is that off rip, Trump solution to this police brutality thing was send more police there. And I'm gonna add on to this. There's a Republican governor in Florida right now. Why the hell did this dude hang up? Alright, who cares? There's a Republican governor right now in Florida that want to make like all of these laws. I don't want to get into it, on basically making it legal to kill violent protesters. I'm just gonna call it like that, because some protesters are violent and some is not. But he wants to target violent protesters. Hello?
But I disagree with that. But
anybody hear me? Hello?
Hello? Oh, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello? Hello?
I hear you. My mic was off. I hear you.
Okay.
So now the governor wants to, this governor in Florida wants to...
I disagree with that, but at the same time, it's like, it's hard to like it's hard to like. I get like that's not okay, but what this there it's so hard to explain this, but it's imagine if someone's coming at you and they're throwing bikes at you and doing everything that is technically
no, it's not technically.
aggressive.
It is aggressive.
It is aggressive, and it's against the law to hit somebody with anything.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It's like I get what they're going. They should do martial law or something in those counties, because let me say this, that would help a lot better. But imagine this, they start pepper spraying people, but that ain't helping. It's not stopping the crowds. It's like they keep coming back to get more in, and I get that they want to be heard, but that's not the way to be heard appropriately or to get anyone to agree with.
What happened? What happened?
Go ahead.
What happened, Hyper, is just like this. Hyper, this thing been going on since I was young. I'm 30 years old now. Police brutality is a very, very awful and wicked thing that's happening in the black community. You understand what I'm saying? So when people are protesting, right, and I've been following this whole thing from the beginning, in the news, in the newspapers. I even still get the newspapers. I don't know if everybody gets...
I get newspapers,
And the thing about it is that, bro, is that when you... as a city, you're in a red state, or not you, but somebody's in a red state is getting angry that these violent protesters is not, I mean, alright, look, I want to say, I feel sorry for every innocent person that was even hurt in a violent protest. But the thing about it is that these people are not even really complaining about people being hurt by violent protesters. They're complaining about buildings and businesses and structures. And I understand, look, I understand that some of these people have made a business for themselves, and this is the only thing they have to live off. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you this one thing, bro. In America, everything is insured. If you have a business, that shit is insured. So when you have a guy that got killed,
that's technically true and not true. You have to have money to get it insured, which is a lie.
You're gonna have
No. You have to pay for insurance.
I know you have to pay for insurance, but if you have a building structure, even if you're renting the structure from somebody else, and it's in a building, to have a building or property in America, your property has to be insured. I'm my own owner myself.
But my question is, it's I know it's like this. Who would want to rebuild their business while protests are still going on?
No one.
And they literally when Biden got elected, before he got elected, people had billboards set up in Washington because they were afraid that there was going to be a riot, and they had put up billboards because they were afraid again that this would happen to them. And it's like I've seen videos, even black owners of stores, black people of BLM and Antifa were burning down his store, and he kept yelling at them, "You can't do this. This isn't right. You're not proving your point, and you're doing this to me that I lived with nothing.
You're right.
And I had to build from the top. And you're destroying everything.
You're right.
They're doing it. They're not just doing it to the white people. Yeah.
I know. It wouldn't be right if they were doing it to white people. I'm not saying that being violent is right. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that what happened because of this is a cause and effect of years and years of oppression. And my point about this is, I don't know if you don't follow me on Facebook, but I already told people that this is not going to be, because I'm doing commentary now on my stream, and it's going to get crazy. Because let me tell you this, bro, black people is the only people that get patronized for being upset. We can't be upset. Like, if something goes on in our black community and we're being oppressed, it's like, if we get upset, it's, oh, you're not doing it the right way, bro. This been happening since the 80s, bro. And before that, bro. This is not a new thing.
There's no right way to be upset, but there's an appropriate way to be upset. Which my opinion is, just like what people were dealing with when COVID hit. A lot of Chinese people and Japanese people were getting tormented and like getting called racist names. Even people that were Chinese weren't Japanese, or Japanese weren't Chinese. They were getting called very racist names, and people were trying to stand up for these people because they said, "Are you from China?" Like, no, I'm a Chinese American. And it's the same thing with the blacks. Yeah, people like, I get that there's racist things being said, and that things happened in the past, but so did with so many other people. I'm Italian. Italians were once slaves and part slave owners. And so were like some people in Africa were slave owners. In certain parts. I'm trying to say this, that people have gone through similar things that, I'm not saying this to sound wrong, but I'm trying to say this to get my point across.
Yeah, I understand.
But that, like, the black community feels like, and I'm not saying this that they're wrong or I'm right, that they feel like they're the only ones that went through this. No, a bunch of other people have gone through similar things.
Well, I'm going to talk for America right now.
The Japanese, the Italians.
I'm going to talk for America right now. I'm going to break it down, bro, because, like, in different parts of the world, they still slavery today. You understand?
Yeah, I know, and sex trafficking, same technical thing, but they're just, it's similar to that, and it's like, and it just irritates me. This stuff irritates me, because it shouldn't be happening, for one. It irritates me that it has to go this far.
If you want to follow the history of America, bro, like, you know what I mean? Black people, bro, did work here for like 200 years or 100 years, around more than 100 years for free, bro. Like, if you want to, people have suffered. Jewish people have got killed by the millions by Hitler. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right.
Genocide. Yeah, same thing, yeah.
But the point about it is, bro, every separation is a little bit different than the other separation, you feel me? Those people that were killed is not here no more to tell their story. We have been brought here and had to work for free, and then was freed, and then was disadvantaged for another 80 years or 90 years. You understand what I'm saying?
I know, but if it was me and I was in your guys' shoes, like, if I actually knew, like, how, I'm not saying that to sound
I understand. Talk.
So I would say, like, but it matters. How would you want to tell people that story? And how do you want to make from what happened 200 to 300 years ago change today? You get what I'm saying? Because, like, if I was the one doing the riots and saying my grandfather was a slave in this country, or he dealt with so much stuff, how are people supposed to feel remorse and feel sorry about it when you're destroying their shops, you're doing all this and telling their story through destruction?
It can't always be a political, like Obama.
I know.
Obama just said something similar to what you just said. And I know you don't like Obama, but he made a point similar to what you just said. He was like, he's a politician, so in order for him to get your vote, he got to kind of sway. Like, you just called him, you said he act like white. So I'm going to add on to that. He was like, he got to kind of...
Yeah. I may not agree with him, but I respect him.
He got to kind of sway your opinion for you to vote for him, because the numbers don't lie. There's more white people in America than the black. So when a politician goes on the stage, he got to kind of sway your opinion. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the point about it is that everything is not political to everybody. You have a political mind. You're young, but you have a political mind. Not everything is politics. You feel me?
I understand that.
A politician tries to sway the other guy's mind. These riots and the protesting, I'm going to say riots and protesting is two different things, because some people are peaceful and some people are not. But these rioting and protesting, it's not a political thing. They're not trying to sway your opinion. They're trying to show you that, look, we need change now because this shit is getting crazy. And the point I was trying to make from earlier, it's just this one thing, bro. It's very insulting. I don't know if you live around black people or nothing like that.
I do. I have a black uncle, black step uncle, and I have a black neighbor. It's like where I live. It's kind of different. I'm not saying it's different, but it's because I live near the Mexican border, and it's like so. A lot of people come to Temecula because it's close. It's an urban city. It's it's mostly I would say it's mostly like Japanese and Japanese Americans and other people that want to move from like New York and come down to the suburbs. I've seen a lot of people from New York come down here, and but I would say, I'm being completely honest, I'm not lying. Literally, I only have like 4 black kids in my high school. That's.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying that
no, it's true. There's a lot of places like that. There's mostly white people in this country. But I'm saying, bro, it kind of is insulting when somebody compares damage to property to somebody that just got killed by somebody stepping on his neck. It's just kind of insulting. It really
gotta
is,
say
bro.
something about that. What the cops did weren't right, and I totally agree with that part. But when they're saying he's done nothing wrong, now that's just trying to make him look innocent. When I even searched it up, he had a criminal record for armed robbery and all this other stuff.
Bro, a criminal record doesn't justify you dying,
yeah,
bro.
I know, but he was assisting us. Dude, I've been tased by cops and everything else, and it's let me tell you this, it's that he was not following instructions, he was not getting handcuffed, he was resisting arrest, and they had to put him down. He was a big guy, and like I'm just saying, like if I was a cop and I had a struggle, I wouldn't say I would put my knee on his neck. If he said he was choking, I would let go, but that part wasn't right. But they were just trying to do what they were paid to do, is arrest somebody and take him to court. They didn't. What I was going to say earlier, and I forgot about it. The cops that did that to him got charged, and I'm pretty sure they even went to jail. I'm not for sure on that part, but I'm pretty sure it did happen, because I think I saw something on the news about that they got charged, and they did everything. The government did everything the right way to get these men in trouble. And it's like, if they try to do that right, I understand that the family's going to be upset and they would want more done, and I would be the same way. But it's how they take it a step too far that made it not make people upset and made it look like this huge thing. And it is huge. They lost their son, and I agree with that. But to make other people pay when they didn't put their knee on his neck and do anything to hurt them, it's not fair to them.
We can go in the game chat after this, because we can.
And just with that guy that got shot, and I'm pretty sure a girl got shot. Literally, and it's partially the guy got shot because he grabbed a gun. He grabbed a gun and he was shooting the wall. I can talk about that in a minute, but I can let you know something real quick. And this is what let me say this. Let me say this. Would the cops die from a gunman shooting them, or would they let them kill them, or are they going to protect themselves against a gunman? Not a black man. That doesn't matter at that moment.
Yeah, it's always a life and death situation.
I know, but he has a gun pointing at police officers of the government. What are they supposed to do?
It's always a life and death.
Get shot, and let their family remorse, kill the person that's technically doing a crime, pointing a gun at a police officer.
Let
me say this, and then I'm done. Even an air gesture of a gun at a cop is illegal, but grabbing a gun is a whole different scenario. That's putting that cop and that guy with the gun in danger. Is he willing to die, or is the other person dying? And it's like, and at that moment you have to think about yourself and your future. And then they even asked him to put it down, and he didn't, and he started firing, and then people get mad that the cop shot him. He had a chance to make a difference, and he didn't.
I'll let you know about that. I'll let you know about that right now. But I just gotta say before this, like you say, you only got 4 black people in your school. I'm from the city. I'm from the urban city. And I'll let you know that the biggest disagreement that we had, well, I'm not gonna say we, but like a person that'll think like me, whoever you ever meet that think like me, will have what Republicans are standing for, is what you just really commented on, like the point about you saying, you bringing up the guy in history, George Floyd. of him not being a good person. No, that is the biggest disagreement, bro.
But that brings up concerns for some people because does he have an arm on him? Does he have anything? He has a past record, like just like me. I have a disturbing the peace order and it was different because I hit my mom. I'm gonna be completely honest with this. They changed it, but that is still on my record. And that means even if I got the cops called on me and I didn't do anything, I have a record. That means it sticks with me and there's no running away from it. And that makes it worse on me. It's like adding on top of another thing.
Bro, the way a lot of people see this, even some white people that might have disagreed with you, because not all white people are Republican. Even some white people that disagree with you, bro, they just see that as making an excuse for somebody losing their life. And it's just the line in the sand where we're gonna have to really hardly disagree. Because, bro, when somebody loses their life unfairly, bro, if you lose your life unfairly, bro, I'm not gonna say that, you know what I mean, you had psycho problems. You could have been a psycho person. You could have been in like a mental institution, bro. But if somebody does something illegal to you, bro, that's obviously illegal, a guy screaming, "Get off my neck, I need my mother," and you die, I'm not gonna be like, yo, the guy had mental problems. I'm not gonna say that, bro. That's a hard line in the sand right there.
No, I didn't say he had mental problems. I said,
I was giving an example.
If I was a police officer and someone called about a similar situation, what would you do? What would you think? Not stepping on his neck, no, but they were trying to arrest him because he had a past history to go to the police station.
But
he resists at first. No, let me say this. He resists at first point. They asked him to get down and you're under arrest and the whole thing, which he didn't do. So how are you supposed to get someone to go to the police station if they're not willing to go? You gotta pin him down.
Bro,
not saying that's right, but
you are supposed to pin him down, bro. But you're not supposed to kill him.
But the way they did it was wrong, and I understand.
Yeah, that's the point, bro. You cannot.
But did he? No, but I'm saying this. Did he have that intention
by
killing him? No, because you don't. You're not understanding.
All right, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I can agree.
Did they know they were going to kill him at the moment?
I can agree with that. They probably didn't know they was going to kill him, but at a point when a person is begging for his mother, bro, you feel me? No, bro, you don't.
But dude, I know, but I gotta say this. I'm sorry for cutting you off. If someone was going to jail and they wanted to beg for their mom, like I've done in the past. Yeah, maybe they would let them out, but it just matters what he's done and what could happen.
No,
like,
you see,
literally this. If he was calling for his mom, she should have just walked up to him, and like said, "You're gonna be okay. Just let them arrest you. Don't do anything."
No, his mom already died. His mom already died.
Oh well.
Because
why would he call him mom?
Because he knew he was about to die. The guy had his knee on his neck, bro. You don't understand.
What I'm trying to say is, but at the same time, they didn't know that he was going to die. So I don't. It's just like this. If someone accidentally walks into the wrong house, let's say in like a place where there's an intruder, and you're allowed to shoot on sight, and he walked into the wrong house intoxicated, and he had a record of intoxication, whatever the word is. And they shot him. They wouldn't be going to jail because they didn't know that he was intoxicated for one if he didn't look it and they were in his house. I know that's a completely different scenario, but it's the same outcome.
No, you're trying to make the same point.
In a similar way.
I understand you're trying to make the point. You're trying to make the same point. I understand you, bro. But I'm just going to tell you, for future references, bro, when you speak to a Democrat, you're going to notice that that's where you and him disagree at all the time. Because that's really the biggest disagreement we have on on these political issues like police reform and how black people are treated, bro. Democrats we don't feel that you can make an excuse for somebody dying illegally. There's no excuse. If you try to play both sides of it, bro, you're just basically making an excuse for it. That's just where it comes down to.
There's laws in place. Like
I understand they did go to court, and if I'm not mistaken, they did get tried, and I think they were found guilty. But the point about it is that I think there was some mishap with the case where probably everybody didn't get guilty. There was something in that something that happened. Well, you know what, the riots triggered right after the death. You understand? But
Yeah,
they did end up going to jail. But there was a reason why the riots got so big, because it was like
just okay. But what I have to say is, what do you think if he was still here today and he saw what was going on still? Do you think he would like how his name's being used towards riots, not making a difference, just by making something as a soul? But when you're butchering his name, saying that in a bad way by burning people's houses, I have no way to put that, you know. And
I understand
what you were saying about like the about people shouldn't be getting killed. There's a certain line that someone would cross to have to happen. Like what I was saying, if someone came in intoxicated,
yeah.
How do you know if he's not an aggressive drunk and he has a gun on him? Or
I know you make a good point. But look, basically that point, what you made, well, not really a good point, but that point you just made.
It's a clear point.
Yeah, that point you just made can actually go into the other question. Because like I said, we don't got to argue about this George Floyd thing. I was just letting you know where a lot of Democrats is going to draw the line on like excuse him, but you know I don't want to say that over again. But anyway, we can basically go into the point with the next shooting you talk about with the girl. You understand what I'm saying? Because really, bro, like if you follow that case closely, bro, what happened is, first of all right, anytime a cop go in any situation, even if a cop pulls you over, you might have a car, you might not. But anytime a cop pulls you over, he's already thinking about life or death. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the difference is they always have to think about that. Even in military, you know you have to be on your survival game or you're dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're dead, but in a big situation, you could be dead.
Yeah.
So
you have to think outside the box all the time.
So the thing.
Go ahead. Yeah. Hello.
So we already know as a police officer, these guys is thinking about life or death, even in a regular traffic stop. So we know that.
Yeah.
All right, that's already there, right? The thing about it is, in this case, these guys had a no-knock warrant to go into this person's house because supposedly there was something illegal. That's just the law. They got the warrant from the judge, so they're allowed to go inside the crib. We know this.
Yeah.
So what happened was they get inside the house. This guy, I don't want to say I have to double check, but to my knowledge, this guy has a legal gun. This boyfriend, you feel me? His gun wasn't illegal. Alright, let me talk. His gun is legal. So what happened is, this guy pulls out his gun. I'm not sure or not. The only new thing you said to me that I'm not sure about is if they told him to put it down. But regardless of the fact, even if they did tell this guy to put down his gun, this guy shot at the police, which I'm not sure if he knew they were the police or not. Because like I said, they had a no-knock warrant. And the purpose of a no-knock warrant is to catch people by surprise. And this is not illegal. The no-knock warrant is perfectly legal. So this guy shoots at the police, and they shoot back. They hit the girl, and they also hit the wall going into the next apartment.
Yeah.
This guy is charged with reckless endangerment of the neighbors and not killing the girl.
Which is right. Yeah.
I don't know how right that is, because the point about it, the cop statement was that they knocked on the door. And the cops said that they
knocked in the door can mean several things, like knocked it down or something.
No, I don't know. I don't think they knocked the door down. I would have to double check that. But
if they're using that little barricade thing of the little hammer, yeah, they knocked it down if they use that, because like that's what FBI uses.
But I think
knock a door down.
I think the point what they was trying to make is that they identified themselves as police at the door. which is crazy. That's the first reason why people are upset. This is the point. People don't have to go too far into a story to know what the hell happened. This is what you're going to understand with the Democrats. We don't got to go and read the whole story to understand how this shit unfolded. Because their statement is that they identified themselves as police. And this shit is crazy to people because they had a no-knock warrant. So basically, they did not have to identify themselves as police. So
yeah, well, maybe they were giving them a warning, even if it was a no-knock warrant. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. Think like if they say police coming in, like.
But legally, they didn't have to do that. Legally, they didn't have to do that.
But maybe they wanted to make sure, because what if they open the place up and it's not the right apartment? They're going to open it, barge it open, and say
that means legally
police coming in. That's what they technically have to do.
No, a no-knock warrant, you can look it up. They don't have to identify themselves. The no-knock.
Did they or did they not? They can choose if they want to or not in this situation.
They probably could. I don't know that far into the law. That's like state law, you know what I mean? I don't really know that much into the different state. But basically, they had a no-knock warrant, and they put on a police report after the girl is dead that they knocked.
But you gotta think of this. It matters the situation. If their department or whatever is going to be in jeopardy. It's like if it was like let's say drug enforcement and they were undercover. Of course they want to say knock knock police. They would barge in because they already have confirmation, the target, what's there, and all that. Then they barge down. But if it's a person's home and they're going in without them expecting it and they don't know what's on the other side, they would say police coming in and they barge it open. That's just the common sense thing. Which, because they want to make sure that they won't do anything stupid, and that's not actually a state law; it's a law in general, because it's in every place. Like even like in video. Go ahead. If
they didn't know what was there, bro, they shouldn't have got the no-knock warrant, bro. Because the police department is the people that get the warrant, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Actually, it's the government itself. They have to go through the government to get
the
courts.
They got to go to a court. They got to go to a judge to get the warrant. You can get
so
it.
That's not the police station. That's
what I meant is the police got to go to the court. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
They can get they can get an emergency warrant from a judge late in the night if they wanted to. That's like in certain cases. You feel me? But the police department is the people that's preparing, like, to get the warrant. So they get the warrant from the judge. They purposely got a no-knock warrant. No-knock warrants, if I'm not mistaken, is not even legal in every state. But it just so happened to be...
I'll search that up. But how is there anything saying that they asked for a no-knock warrant?
That's what the police department got from the court. They got a no-knock warrant.
Yeah, maybe they had different options, and then gave out different options because they had to think about it, and then it's actually the judge that makes the final decision. If you knew that or not.
Well, I mean, the judge in his court, a courtroom, basically a judge's courtroom is their layer. They make the final decision anyway in everything in their courtroom.
Yeah, so the judge had to make the no-knock warrant because maybe that guy had a past record, or whoever they were trying to get, or even they thought it was the best decision. So the police station is the police. They make the rules there. But then when they go into the court system, it's the judge that makes the final decision. Just like if the judge was going to, even if the judge was going to make a final decision if you're going to jail or not, that's their decision. Because it's their courtroom. Like literally, like if you flipped off a judge and you already got your sentence, he can add 2 more weeks in the confinement of prison because you flipped off a judge. That's technically
we all know the judge makes the final decision, bro.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when police is asking for a warrant, they're going to try to get the warrant that's going to be best suitable for the job they need to do. A judge is not going to give a cop a warrant if they know that warrant is going to put the cops at jeopardy. We know that. You feel me? They're going to get the they're gonna get the best warrant to do the job. And in this case, they felt the best warrant was a no-knock warrant.
Okay, now that makes more sense, because if they thought that was the best warrant, but they didn't know what was on the other side or how many people or anything, because they don't know who's there that day, they're of course going to break in, barge in, but they most likely are going to say police coming in, because that's technically what they do. They're police. So it doesn't make sense to me that part of the story that they said it and then they started firing, because it's possible they did say it. And
all right, I'm not gonna knock you. I'm not gonna knock you.
Yeah.
It is possible they say it, but now, since we broke down the first part of this argument, the second part of this argument now comes to whether or not
it's an argument. It's just a discussion.
Argument, discussion, whatever you choose to label it as. The second part.
I agree with your opinions.
The second part of the discussion is whether or not who you believe in this instance, because
that's true.
The guy says they didn't identify themselves. The first guy, the police said they did identify themselves, but according to the no-knock warrant, you don't have to. So this is why the law is very underhanded and sketchy for stuff like this to happen to African Americans, because it's like who do you believe? The cops? The cops says they did, but they didn't have to. The guy says they didn't have to. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I was trying to make now is that you have a legal gun in your house, and you know what I mean, people down south and the Republicans is so adamant about their Second Amendment rights. Yeah, they're so adamant about this. But you have a gun in
But it's just like a car, it's your property like your house is. If you reach for your gun, of course you're gonna put yourself in danger, because it's a firearm and they have to think in their heads, like survival. Am I willing to die, or is he, if he reaches for that gun, am I going to get shot for him making a poor decision, or am I going to protect myself as a human being too, putting myself in danger and my whole squad? So if anything, the smart decision was just to put up your hands like usual and say, I have a firearm registered, and it's right under the table or above the table, wherever he said it was. That's the right thing, this right and smart thing to do. What you should know to do.
But
even
guess
if you're
what?
white, black, anything, it should be normal.
But guess what?
There's a proper way to do it.
Since we will never know what really happened there. Like I said, we're still on the second point. That's just in case who you believe. No, for real.
Did they kill the boyfriend, or I forgot? Did they kill the boyfriend? Because I thought they killed the girlfriend.
Yeah, the girlfriend is the only one that's dead. So that's just. But
the problem is that the girlfriend would have never been dead, and that would have never happened if he did the correct thing. And it's like the cops were just doing their job, and that shouldn't have happened. It did happen because he reached for his gun and started firing.
It doesn't matter.
And even if in the report they usually put down who got the victim killed, and if they put down that he or it was a miss, because if they fired him for what they filed him for, that means he was endangering other people with that firearm, which he hit somebody and made it fatal, and that means he wasn't in the right. He doesn't have the right, or not the right, but he doesn't have the knowledge and the correction to have a firearm if he can't tell them they have a firearm. I have a firearm, and raise his hands and say it. Just like in a car. If a cop's there, you gotta treat it like they're pulling over for a reason, and you gotta respect it and not get into danger by trying to grab for the gun.
It just depends on who you believe, bro. Because like I said, my point I was trying to make is that Republicans are so adamant about their Second Amendment rights. But at the end of the day, if you go by the guy's story, and I mean, like, even in New York City, we all learned that, you know what I mean, people are going to take the cop side in every story. And, you know what I mean, so, and according to their record, they're outstanding citizens, all of them, good character checks, blah, blah, blah. But if you go by the guy's story, no one identified themselves. A guy busts in his house. And like I said, Republicans are so adamant about their Second Amendment rights. What are you going to do if you see a guy bust in your house? Not identifying himself or nothing. You should.
But yeah, you should shoot because but the second off, the part I believe is that, yes, they probably most likely did say something because I know the laws pretty well. And it's that they most likely say something under the situation, and I feel like, I'm not saying that because I disagree or I feel like he did something wrong. I feel like he did grab the gun not knowing what he was going to do or whatever, but I feel like they did say something, and it can go either way, but I feel like with how the cops are saying it sounds more correct, more like if you rewind it in your head. It's like, it sounds more like a real, like something that could actually happen. Because let me say this, why would a man randomly fire? Oh, if someone broke in, but if they said, police coming in, and they said that they said it, but the guy said he didn't, then why did he shoot? You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense in my head. If they said that they're coming in, he shouldn't have shot. He put them in danger and his girlfriend. And I don't believe that the Republicans are just on the First Amendment reach. If he just said he had a gun and he had a permit, that's his freedom of speech. He has a right to have a gun. Have it, but to shoot it at a government officer, that right there is a threat. That is putting someone in danger. That's putting someone in danger, and it's right away your gun rights are taken away, and they're only taken away because he specifically used them against how they're supposed to be used. It's only for protection, and the cops are there to make everything all right and see if everything's okay and that there's nothing bad going on. Which, if he's doing that for the wrong reason, of course, I feel like he got his gun rights taken away. Does it make sense? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head that if they said that cops coming in, he grabbed a gun. It doesn't make a sense. There had to be a reason that he had to grab the gun. Like him I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but I'm not saying he's a criminal, but what he did was dangerous and reckless. You get what I'm saying? Hello?
Enemy UAV overhead.
My fault, my mic was on mute. I got a stuff controller. So yeah, I know I heard everything you said, and if you believe the cops, I'm not gonna knock you.
I'm not saying.
No, bro, you have a right to your opinion.
I agree.
You have a right to opinion.
The cop story because it sounds more realistic.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it could actually happen.
All right, I'm off at that point. That's a good. All right, look, you got a right to opinion. Look, boom. So my third point with this, because I like to break shit down in like sequences.
Yeah.
So my third point with this now, since we established that you believe the cops, so now the third thing is that, you see, we at a standstill, we're in like a gray area, because now we realize that it all comes down to who you believe, right? We agree with that.
Yes. Yeah.
So now it's like, why is a law like a no-knock warrant even existing if it creates gray areas like this where people can die and justice can't be served the proper and right way?
The no-knock warrant is so if there's a criminal or it's just like the FBI. If they break in there and say FBI open up, like every little meme they have of it. It's true, they do that because they're warning if you do anything stupid, they have the right to fire because that's endangering their mission and their fellow comrades to getting hurt. So it's like just like if it was a hostage situation. Of course they have a no-knock warrant because literally they break in and get the suspect without knowing it. But it's the same thing even if it was a gun warrant or a drug warrant. they would go in and say, police, stop what you're doing, like, you know, all that, and it's like,
I'm gonna look it up right now with
yeah, because they usually say that, and I'm pretty sure it's a law, but they say it under the situation, or what the no-knock warrant's for, and it just. I'm not saying I disagree with the guy. It just makes no sense.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. This is what I do with my friend too. I just read it straight off of Google. In the United States, a no-knock warrant is a warrant issued by a judge that allow law enforcement to. Hold on, my shit just went. What the fuck? You know this iPhone shit. This iPhone shit just went back to lock screen. Give me a second. I'm dying in the game, but fuck it. It allows law enforcement to ambush a property without immediate prior notification of the resident, such as by knocking or ringing a doorbell. In most cases, well, it says not all, but it says in most cases, law enforcement will identify themselves just before they forcibly enter the property. Yes, it says in most cases. So now,
and that's probably one of the cases they did, because it's not a case that needs to be swatted and opened up secretly, because there seemed to be no danger at first point until you grabbed that gun, and that's just.
But this is where we at now, bro. This is where we at. We don't know who to believe, bro. This is just where we at.
That's true too. Yeah.
This is where we at in the government, bro. You're not understanding the state.
Well, it's not. It's technically not the government's fault. It's the police.
I mean, not the government.
Even if they were wrong.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, I just say the government because I'm just combining the state, the police, the city, because we got different entities. You know what I mean? That runs everything. But
it's like people blaming COVID on Trump when it was the China. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
It was the China animal meat. Yeah, it's like blaming Trump, and Trump wasn't even in China. It's like, you don't blame the government unless the government's actually done something. It's usually the police department, because they have different police departments.
Yeah,
or
you're
it's
right.
whatever you're blaming on. Yeah.
That's why voting in local elections is so important. You're right. I just use the government as a blanket statement. But basically, so this is where we at, bro. And this is, I mean, you're young now. I don't know. You said you got your political views from your grandfather, and I mean, when people have political views handed down, they really feel passionate about it.
Family. I understand.
Maybe one day you will change your views slightly, moderated. I don't know. You might not. I'm just saying. Who knows? You feel me?
Yeah, I know. I voted for a Democratic someone in the local government, because it also matters what they're willing to do to change.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe we'll be on PS4 and be friends for a while, and maybe in the future we'll have a discussion and we both feel slightly different. Who knows? Things change. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is where we at with the laws that's being implemented in cities, states, counties, and stuff like that. There's always a loophole why we can't really judge whether is this fair or is this another loophole to kill more black people.
But it's kind of hard to say to kill black people, because that's technically not their intention, and it does matter the person, but it also matters. It doesn't matter the cop itself. It matters the situation they're in. Because you could technically, if I was a cop, and I'm not saying this to sound wrong at all or racist, but it's if I was a cop and some guy started pulling a gun out on me, like literally,
you would shoot. I'm taking the blame off the cops now. If you really understand what I'm saying, I'm actually taking the blame off of the cops. I'm saying this is where we at with the laws that's being passed.
Yeah, and it's also like in the police department, like boot camp type thing. I've seen people do it, and like they even have a thing. If anyone grabs a gun in that 0.3 or 3 seconds, you gotta think that quick. Are you gonna let them reach the gun and start firing? Or are you going to shoot? Like, that's literally, like, they have a little part in the boot camp where you literally have to take your gun out in below 0.3 seconds. Because in that 3 seconds, it's either you get shot, you die, or you protect your fellow police officers and you take down the suspect. They teach that because they have to protect themselves.
I perfectly agree with you, bro.
If a guy has a firearm and he's reaching for it, there's nothing else to think at that moment.
I perfectly agree.
If he raises up his hands, they usually say, "Is there anything on you? Any weapons? Anything sharp?" It's because they're trying. You tell them, "I have a concealed weapon on my left pocket. It's registered, and I have a gun warrant for it." And then they pat you down. They take the gun. They make sure it is registered and everything else, and you're out of that situation. They teach you all this stuff. And even in the boot camp, I even saw a cop saying they don't like using the weapons. That's why they have tasers and batons, because if you hit them in the leg with the baton, they all instantly go down. They don't like using the guns, but that's usually the last resort. And if it has to be the first, there's something wrong that made it go to that point. Because it's like you can't think, am I, in that 3 seconds, am I going to die? Or is the suspect that pointed a gun at me going to die? With a fatal shot or not? Because they even have a thing that they say where they're most likely to shoot the suspect to make him live to get answers. But if you're in that 3 seconds, you usually don't have time to think of all that. You only have time, am I going to die, or is this person going to die that's trying to shoot me? And
yeah, that's why I'm kind of off it.
And the other guy's probably thinking that too. I'm going to kill this person so I don't get killed. But then they're technically thinking wrong, because there's usually 4 officers, and usually they have one with a shotgun, one with an it matters what they are though, sometimes an AR, and then 2 other with a pistol.
The whole conversation in the media, bro, has moved from what the cops have done.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah,
I understand you. I understand the cops got a critical thing. I'm well aware of that. Right now, it's just funny to me. Not saying this in a rude way, but some people don't think of it that way because they just think the cops did wrong and they shouldn't have done that. But they should realize how the cops are feeling, how they're thinking at that moment when someone's grabbing a gun. People are so off on that. I done heard people on the radio, even like the hip hop stations. A lot of people are so off of that, bro. A lot of people don't even feel like, in the community, a lot of people don't feel like it was even racist, like they had racist intentions going in there. I'm not saying everybody feel like they have racist intentions. They're so off of that. The end subject of this whole thing, bro, is the laws, bro. That's just what's going on. It's the laws.
I understand that, and that's why they're trying to change, like with the George Floyd situation. After that happened, they're trying to change how to take down a person in a different position, a different way, without hurting the suspect.
Yeah, this is where we at, bro. It's a lot of gray areas in the laws that's allowing for shit to happen, and it's causing division because a lot of this shit is coming down to who you believe. This is why when I was growing up, bro, I hate to keep saying this because I hate it when people say that to me. But since you're young, bro, there was a time when cops didn't even have body cameras. This is just your age, bro, where cops have body cameras.
That's not the police's fault. That's their government's fault. It's different counties. Because some counties aren't rich enough to have police cams or whatever.
But this is the point I'm trying to say with the laws, bro. You feel me? But even the places that were rich enough, New York City didn't have.
Yeah, I agree.
And the thing about it is that, do you believe this? That even though that police body cameras is like a necessity. I mean, not a necessity. I would say like a law in a lot of places, or I think every place. I'm not really remembering because there's a lot of different districts. That it's not even a penalty if they forget to wear it today. It's just like casual. It's like, oh, I forgot to wear it today.
Yeah, well, I think they made it a law recently where you have to like wear one if you have one. Yeah.
Now you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I had to say this, when it wasn't a law. Like you made so many good points which people could have expressed to the government, saying, "Hey, we need body cams on every cop. We need every county and place to have body cams on every cop in this country." And if they expressed it like that and maybe did it the right way, that probably would have happened, and then maybe the cops would be held more accountable. And it would have been a totally different situation without these riots and everything else. But
Bro.
it's hard to ask now about all of that because they've caused so much damage, which now they can't ask everyone, you did this, you have to pay a fine and give us the money, because there's so many people that did it that now the government's going to be paying to fix these buildings. And it's like, how are they supposed to buy body cameras, you know?
If you really seen what the hell is going on, bro, it's that a lot of the red states is having this problem with police brutality right now. I'm not saying it never happened in New York City. It happened occasionally. I mean, not occasionally, but it happened in New York City. But right now, what we've seen in the media right now is like a lot of these places down south in the west, wherever, like these predominantly red states. And what's going on now, bro, is that we have to fight tooth and nail. Because what's going on now is that they created a body cam system, but in some places it's not being enforced. And it's not being enforced in the places that's majority red. You feel me? So then they have to step. So now they have to step back in and be like, yo, if you don't wear it and an incident happens, you get a felony. So now, when this happens, there's gonna probably be another loophole. You feel me?
No, because actually in the law they can't edit footage. It goes directly into government. They have a little station, they plug it in, and if it gets removed, it kind of sets an alarm.
No, I'm not talking about removed. I'm not talking about removed. I mean, what I mean, not like
a loophole. Yeah, I know. Like maybe turning it off, but then that would bring up suspicion. Why did he turn it off when this happened?
Alright, this is a good point. You're trying to say that there's no more loopholes they can use after they made the law that if you don't wear it, you get a felony. But
and if they turn it off,
trust me. Yeah. Because think about it, bro. All technology break down. You feel me? So what happens if the technology that day just didn't work? So now, if this happened again where probably it just didn't work that day, they have to step back in again.
But most people that would be good with technology would understand, did it break or did it shut down? Because if they broke it, it would literally show them breaking it on the footage.
Yeah, it's true.
You just don't break it and it turns off. No, you would see them throwing it down or smashing it or whatever. And that technically that footage that they have gets saved into the police database and the cloud, so they can always retrieve it and see that they broke it on purpose. And second off, even if they turned it off, it would bring suspicion.
Don't get it twisted.
There would be at least one or two suspects, if anything, if there was like a shootout or something.
Don't get it twisted. There's a better system. You know what I mean? What I was trying to make is that nothing is perfect, but it's a way better system.
Nothing is perfect. Yeah.
But it's a way better system. It's a way better law with requiring them to have to wear it now.
But what I'm trying to say is that we maybe could have had that system already if it was enforced and being told by the people that are worried in the right way, you know? Like it would have been a whole different situation if there wasn't no riots and nothing. There would most likely be a difference, or they would try to start the difference and make it progress further by people's complaints. Let me say this: the person's word is more loud speaking than an act. You get what I'm saying? Like a word, like what someone says matters. It brings input, but an act trying to show that input isn't as kind of like saying I promise that I'll never do it again.
I think you touch on that point a lot, bro. But I already answered that question.
But you know what? But I'm kind of saying something a little bit different. I'm saying it's just like you saying I promise I'll never do it again, and then you do it again. That's you saying it over and over, but not doing anything about it. But then it's the act of you doing it that makes it better. But it matters how you do that act. Like, are you doing it the appropriate way? Just like if someone died and you were really mad, you went to the government and you said, we need to make a change to this, blah blah blah, and then you start like, what if they say, okay, we'll look into it, and if nothing gets done quick enough, you really say, you start a petition, maybe make an you're allowed to do, you know, walk, but destroying property and all other stuff is a different thing, a different scenario. And but then there's another way you can do it. You get it done, and it would probably be already made a slight difference or a big difference right now, and then it could be a bigger difference later on.
In about something about the Lagos.
But the difference is them having a pepper spray and have to be worried about what's going to happen because a bunch of people are swarming around the cops. They don't know what else to do if someone starts charging after them. They may accidentally shoot. It's just a human reaction to defend yourself.
It really is.
And the cops are there and the most stressed they've ever been because there's a bunch of people burning places down, trying to come at them, spitting in their face, everything. Even during COVID, it's how you do it that makes the difference. How you express yourself that makes
You know,
the
one thing I had to learn growing up though, like when I was younger and I was like debating what political side I should take. You feel me? There's one thing I had to learn, and I don't know, this might help you or it might not help you in the future, but I had to learn that, you know what I mean, we all grow up with like certain stuff that we might be more
flaws,
no, not flaws, certain things that we might be more interested in, and it comes this, bro. I feel like if I was to pick a career, like a dream career that makes a lot of money and I become powerful, I have more of a political mind and a business mind. You understand what I'm saying? That's just me though. But not everybody has a political mind. And like I told you before, it's basically the same point I was trying to make. But I'm just referring to when I was younger. I had to learn to understand that not everybody's going to approach a situation like me. I might be talking to you and you might be like, okay, I feel your points. And you know what I mean? You make good points, but I have different opinions. But you're not going to talk to everybody that feel the same way I feel, and you're going to have a great discussion like that.
Somebody get mad or whatever.
Yeah, because not everybody has a political mind. And the job of politics and being political is to really fill out your opponent and to see where you can make a good point where he can feel you or where you can feel him. But stand your ground at the same time, you feel me? And be like, I feel different. That's what a political mind do. And like I told you before, I see that you have a political mind. But, bro, the point I'm trying to make is that not everybody has that, bro. Some people are more like...
I get what you're saying. You're saying that like people don't understand like how what the government's trying to do, but they try to react on it, sort of in a way.
A little bit like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that, bro. Some people, like I argue with my friend all the time because we basically feel the same way, but he has different ways of getting to what he wants. You understand what I'm saying? Than I do. Yeah. But he has more of an activist kind of mind. An activist will go about things way different than a politician. This is why a lot of people didn't like, what's his name, Al Sharpton, because he'll say a lot of stuff that piss off the other side. But he's not he's not Obama. Obama's not going to make it sound sweet for you. I mean, Obama will make it sound sweeter for you to get people on his side, but a person like Al Sharpton is just going to say stuff straight up. You feel me? Yeah. And he's gonna pick because he's not a politician. He ran for office once, but he's not a real politician. He's more of an activist. And this is what you gotta understand, that everybody got different mindsets.
And I totally understand that. But what I'm trying to say is there could be different ways to like come out forward and speak your mind. You get what I'm saying? Like there shouldn't be all this that's going on. And then like just like how like women couldn't be infantry men, which they still can't, but they brought it to court. They said no, they backed down, but they got right back up. Then they they make it a bigger situation in the appropriate way, and they say no and go back down, and then they back up and try again, and then they said fine, we'll see how it works out, and they came out to a chart that says women under stress are more likely to screw up in a way, and then that they're not as physically built as most men, like in those type of situations, wearing 80-pound gear and everything, more than 80 pounds, and they got back down, and they couldn't do it, but they're still trying to do it in the appropriate way. It takes time, but it just matters how you take that time and how you use it.
Yo,
that
bro,
can make the difference.
bro,
like even if you say no, it doesn't mean no in the future. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. They're fighting for a career in the army, bro. What civil rights leaders are fighting for is a totally. It's like almost life or death, bro.
But people don't understand this. Trump was trying to fight for black rights, and most people didn't understand that. Like, he was just fighting for gay rights. Both things that most people don't accept, the gay stuff, but Trump was trying to make a difference in this country. He was honest, he was trying to do the best he could do out of his power. That's why he even stood up and told everybody about the Crime Act, because he knew that if Biden got in office, he would do something that would screw up this country and make something bad come out of it.
Well, I don't know what Biden will do, but I just
I know Trump because I've seen stuff on the news, and I've actually heard from it on Twitter and everything else. He's trying to make a difference in this country. Maybe some people don't like how he's doing it, but he's trying to make a big difference in these situations with the police and everything else. And he was going to do so much in 2021, then he got cut off and he got into this depressive state because he's tried to do so much for the gay and black community. And you may have not have known this, but actually with the stuff that Biden was saying, Trump got more not foreign but colored and gay and like every type of color supporters. People switched on Biden, but this is the weird part, all the whites switched to Biden. So Biden switched to Trump switched to Biden. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's weird because most of the white people, I'm guessing, didn't feel like he was doing enough for their color or what they wanted, and he was trying to more focus on the bigger problems of the gay things that are going on and the colored things that are going on. And and he was trying to do so much when he could have just been like every other president, focusing what's better for the white people or America as a whole. But Trump was just singling out, trying to do better for the blacks and the gays. Even I think Trump even made a few more states allowed to have gay marriage, because that still isn't allowed in most states. And that's what gay people are fighting for, to be able to get married and not go to a different state and then not being able to keep their marriage, or some people even go to jail for being gay and having a marriage. He's trying to fix that and so many other things, and he's taking aside just the white people and focusing on the African Americans and the gays, and he's trying to make this world a better place, which that didn't help because everyone wanted to vote against him. Most people, you know what I mean? I know, but he's literally tried to do so much for people when he could have done so much to even help what the white people are facing. But no, he took his time out of his day to go to, I don't know, gay parades or stuff. I forgot what it was, but he tried to help people that had more problems than just white people. Yeah,
I understand.
And that's partially why not like people were saying to gain votes, but remember that old lady that was black, African American, that he impeached? she was so happy. He wasn't trying to do that for votes. He was trying to show that not everyone that's black is a criminal. And he got her out of jail. He was trying to do the right thing. Samantha or something like that. Samantha.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the girl with the curly hair that spoke at his like thing with the fireworks and everything.
I lost one of my earpieces.
Yeah, he's trying to show that there's a chance with him. There's a possibility if you do right and you don't be racist, that love and hope can come out of it, which no one really got and understood.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna log off though.
That most people wrongfully accuse as black and Hispanics and everything. And he was trying to get those people out, trying to fix the government that was corrupt, which he was trying to make an acceptable, realistic government. And then now that Biden's in office, I'm afraid that it's going to go backwards. That's why I literally did a hashtag on Snapchat say fucked up 2021 or screwed up 2021. And it's because that's how I feel. Like if I go into the army, there's going to be a war, like a war through something, you know? Hello?